Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about Abeloth. A lot of people have been saying that Abeloth is going to be in the new Ahsoka series, so I decided let's make a video on it. So this is Abeloth's life kind of summarized, and it's legends, so it's not canon, but it's still the legend story. Well, I'm not sure what we're going to see in Ahsoka when we see her, but yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Abeloth, otherwise known as the beloved Queen of the Stars, the Bringer of Chaos, or the Destructor. She was an extremely powerful Force entity, and her dark side powers, as well as immortality, derived from her being corrupted from bathing in the pool of knowledge and drinking the font of power. At first, she was just a mortal woman who lived as a servant for the Ones. The Ones were Force wielders who were extremely powerful and lived in the ethereal realm of Mortis. The Ones consisted of the embodiment of the dark side, the Son, the embodiment of the light side, the Daughter, and the Keeper of Balance, the Father. So she was a servant for them on a jungle planet over 100,000 years before the Battle of Yavin. She eventually became the mother, trying to keep peace between the father, the son, and the daughter. However, she started to notice that she grew old and started to age like a mortal, unlike the father and the children. And she feared that she would lose her previous family or they would abandon her. So in a desperate attempt to hold on to this life, she drank from the font of power and bathed in the pool of knowledge. Since she was just a mortal being, it corrupted her and transformed the mother into this twisted, immortal entity that we know now as Abeloth. And at some point, the father discovered what she had done, so he departed the planet with the children and left Abeloth stranded. Eventually, the son and the daughter enlisted to help the Calics to create massive technological artifacts like Sinkhole Station and Centerpoint Station, and this was made to imprison Abeloth in the Maw. And eventually, Abeloth managed to escape her prison whenever the current of the Force was altered and flow of time changed. So, each time she escaped, the son and the daughter would return to Calicus and defeat Abeloth, locking her back in her prison. And this cycle ended up repeating itself for thousands of years, and eventually the Ones died during the Clone Wars after Anakin Skywalker refused to take the father's place as the Keeper of the Balance. And now there's a little bit of a time jump, and we get to Jacen Solo, who is, in Legends, the son of Han and Leia. When Jacen Solo fell to the dark side in around 40 ABY, he became a Sith Lord called Darth Caedus. And in an attempt to change his vision of a future where the Sith ruled over the throne of balance beside his daughter, which he had, who was named Alana, he unintentionally released Abeloth into the galaxy. So she began to escape from her prison with the destruction of Centerpoint Station during Caedus' war against the Jedi. And this threw the galaxy into complete turmoil. And in around 43 ABY, Abeloth used psychosis to remotely turn these young Jedi into kind of a sort of rogue agent. And this created crazy havoc and chaos on Coruscant, even pitted Natasi Dala, who was the Galactic Alliance chief of state at the time, against the Jedi Order. And Abeloth was discovered and hunted down by Jedi Grandmaster Luke Skywalker and his son Ben, as well as the Lost Tribe of the Sith. A young Sith, Vestra Kai, saw Abeloth's true form and eventually joined the Skywalkers as a part of an alliance. It was a bit shaky because Luke is a Grandmaster at this point and he's having an alliance with the Sith. He didn't feel too good about it, but that's besides the point. So both the Jedi and the Sith fought and killed Abeloth in the Maw, despite her exploiting their divisions, but the entity was also able to possess other beings by sharing her Force essence among multiple bodies, and used the Sith meditation sphere ship to travel to Pydir and hide amongst the Phalanacin. And she eventually possessed their leader, Akana, who happened to be a former lover of Luke Skywalker, and battled the Jedi and the Sith. Abeloth made High Lord Sarusu Talon her pawn, only for Kai to kill the Sith and flee with the Skywalkers. Falling increasingly in love with Ben, Abeloth subsequently fled to Nam Kori, where she manipulated the Theron listeners against the Skywalkers and Kai, but Master Skywalker ended up defeating the entity by freeing Callista Ming, another former lover of his, from Abeloth's possession. Luke was able to catch on to Abeloth possessing Akana, and he was able to kind of figure it out that it's not actually her. So it made it easier because, Luke is a Grandmaster at this point, so he was pretty powerful. At least in Legends, he was super powerful. So Abeloth nevertheless escaped and allied with the Sith tribe. though her failure to dispose of Grand Lord Darth Vaul prompted her to annihilate the Sith's capital city, and forces loyal to her, led by Gavar Kai, continued to annoy the Jedi and battle the Jedi on Drummond Cass and Upkassar, while Grand Lord Vaul took advantage of the Galactic Alliance's political turmoil and sent his Sith to infiltrate Coruscant. However, at this point, Abeloth has had the exact same idea and possessed the beloved Senator Rakori Kem, and working with High Lord Ivar Warkan to navigate the Alliance's political conspiracies and becoming elected as the new Chief of State. Abeloth also possessed the Imperial Lida Pagorsky to help Admiral Dala realize her ambitions. And then at this point, Tahari Vila and Boba Fett killed Abeloth's Pagorsky avatar on Hagamor 3. The entity had replaced Grand Lord Vaul to control the Sith tribe's forces on Coruscant and concentrating them on the Jedi Temple. And they ended up attacking the Jedi, and Alliance forces were ambushed due to Abeloth's foresight and control of the Jedi Temple's computer core, and the entity also possessed Sith Lady Corelli. Abeloth at this point was mad and pissed off about the persistence of the Jedi and replenished and bolstered her power by feeding on the terror and anguish of those around her. To that end, she totally unleashed her wrath on Coruscant, creating groundquakes that produced volcanoes to inflict casualties upon billions of civilians. At this point, Abeloth was so desperate to try and recreate a family for herself on her own terms, so she abducted Ben Skywalker and Vestera Kai in an effort to force them to drink from the font of power on her world. And obviously they resisted, while Luke Skywalker and Darth Krayt, the Sith in the late Jason Solo's vision, battled Abeloth in the astral realm beyond shadows. Jedi Master Saba Sabatine also fought Abeloth at the Jedi's temple's computer core, and the struggles depleted Abeloth's force essence, destroying the entity. Afterward, Luke Skywalker and the Jedi Council were convinced that Abeloth would recover and return, though not in their lifetimes. Heeding Ragnar Thal and other Jedi Knights' findings from the Tharut Kilix, as well as the Jedi Masters Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi's reports of Anakin Skywalker's encounter with the Ones from long ago, Luke Skywalker intended to search for the realm of Mortis and obtain the dagger to ensure that Abeloth could be permanently killed. Alright guys, that's gonna do it. That's just a pretty brief overview of Abeloth and her life story in Legends, at least. We'll kind of see what happens if she is indeed in Ahsoka Season 2. We'll see how they portray her, how they have her story in there. I hope it's somewhat similar to what Legends has, because she's pretty crazy and Legends pretty powerful. So it'd be pretty cool to see that kind of power in a live action show and an actual canon show. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it, guys. Make sure you leave a comment, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, check out my gaming channel, and until the next one, guys, see ya.